Okay, hi everyone. Okay, so a quick introduction to break the ice. I mean, although Darren already said it's pretty much. My name is Lola Salehu, and I am a product and experience designer. I mean, you can probably see it from this very serious title here. Um, I'm also going to like drop a few fun facts. I mean, why not? So depending on whether I have a very diverse sense of humor, I can be quite funny at times. Although right now, I wouldn't expect you to. Sorry, right now you shouldn't expect me to make you laugh because I think you can probably tell I'm under a lot of pressure and I don't want you guys to drag me on Twitter. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, you can probably see all of this. I love new experiences and I love to document things. Hence, writing, art, and photography. And I'm also a very expressive person, so you can easily find me at the center of things that have to do with exploring interest and whatnot. All right, now let's get to business. Today, we're going to be talking about content strategy. And well, the most important part of your website or app is content, basically. And I know that a lot of designers might argue with me and say that no, like we actually went there to see the layout and stuff because that's what designers are about. But actually, even the layout is also part of content. So yeah, content could basically be written text, photos, or videos. So content could basically be written text, photos, or videos. It could also be small pieces of information like stock alerts, flight alerts, or even tweets. I mean, we go to Twitter to like see content basically, and it could also be features that would enable people to complete. Now, let's sorry, let's address what else. Without content, there would be no reason to use your Apple website. I mean, heck, there will even be no reason for you to make one. So with this in mind, you have to really think about it. It's very important that a part of your design process should be to be very intentional about how you want to create or communicate content. I mean, if the primary reason I'm coming to your site is to get some sort of information or consume some content, then I feel like it should be well thought out and delivered. And oddly enough, the term for doing all of this, being very intentional about the content, is called content strategy. I mean, who would have thought, right? So yeah, what is content strategy? It is basically the art of bringing the right content to the right person at the right time and in the right context. I mean, okay. Okay, yeah, so basically the most important part of any website or app is its content. And I know that a lot of designers might probably argue with me because I mean, they go to the site to keep the layout and whatever. But really, even the layouts that you're going to check out is content, and content is content is generally everything from written text to photos or videos. It could also be like small pieces of information like stock alerts, flight alerts, tweets. Yeah, even tweets. I mean, we all go on Twitter to like check for information. So yeah, and it's also features that would enable people to complete a task or to upload their own content. Basically, content is key. Um, all right, so what is content strategy, anyways? Content strategy is basically the art of bringing the right content to the right person at the right time and in the right context. Oh, yeah, I know that's a lot of words. I mean, you guys have to forgive me. But basically, that's what content strategy is. Without content, there would be no reason to use your Apple website. I mean, there would even be no reason for you to make one because if you think about it, it's just going to be an empty space on the internet with no information that anybody wants to um, get or whatever. So yeah, basically content is very important. And if we think about it, seeing as there'll be no reason for us to even like design without content, then we should want to like be extra intentional about um how we're designing the how we're delivering the content to the users and how we're fixing it basically into the context of the layout so that we are getting information to the people that it needs to get to, pretty much. All right, so for practical or better learning purposes, we're going to be taking this from a practical standpoint and we're going to be designing a portfolio site. So yeah, let's get into it. Designing a portfolio site. Right. Okay, so the brief is we're designing a portfolio site for an interior design firm called Safe Haven. And basically, Safe Haven wants to get more clients. That's just the entire point. And then they're coming to us to say, oh, yeah, look, make me a site. All right. Now, on getting the brief, a lot of people might approach this by starting out with the design first. I mean, Dribble is really very easy to come by. So you can just go in there and get a free layout rather than like slap it up on a good go. But if you think about it, that usually leads to a lot more work being done along the line. I mean, by the time you're done with your um, filler, or I don't know, basically for lack of a better word, but by the time you're done with the website, usually when the client wants to fill in real content, like, or they have a product description or videos or whatever, like you usually have to like make tweaks and whatnot. And then, okay, well, I would say that you would think that this would mean that, oh, more work for you, and then maybe they might pay more. But like in the end, who really wants to like spend a lot of unnecessary time on like one project, right? So, anyways, that's why we're having this chat. I basically want to like show you that there's a better way to go about it, and you can actually free yourself from bondage. So, um, basically, there are several things that make up the experience for users, and we can see that content is a huge part of them. I mean, so design. So besides designing the interface, the words, the photos, and the media that communicate what the brand or product does also have to be designed. And like this would take into consideration whatever tone and voice the business decides that they want for themselves. Yeah, so there are different ways to go about it. Oh wow, not this one. Okay, so anyways, the next slide was supposed to say start with content, but like it didn't, so haha. Um, this is why we're going to start with content strategy. We want to get an idea of how this business is going to communicate its value, how Safe Haven intends to communicate its value to the clients that it's trying to get. For Okay, yes, I'm going to make a quick assumption and say that we've gone over some. Okay, I'm going to make a quick assumption that the designer, or basically us, have gone over some basic steps like the stakeholder and user interviews. Oh, and about that, guys, a quick tip. If you currently do not do your stakeholder and user interviews, I really think that you should reconsider that, because ultimately it makes your work a lot easier. I mean, and I get that the stakeholder interviews can be really tedious because I mean, when you hear interviews, it's sounding like something very official, like who wants to be asking somebody questions and answers and all that. But there are easy ways to do it. I mean, it ranges from the calls that you make to the clients, the emails, whatever. It's just basically about however you choose to get the information that you need to set the base for your design, for your content strategy. I mean, something that I do that is a part of my own process is I have a template that is basically like a digital form that I send to my clients. So the form just basically contains questions that help me get answers to information that I would need to like make the solution what they want, and to basically meet their expectations. So it's also like a way for me to automate it. So if it's a small task, then a small task in the sense that, oh, it's a landing page website or whatever, then I can quickly just issue the form and get the information and be on with it. So yeah, totally do stakeholder interviews and user interviews. Okay, so for the context here, wait, sorry, hold on. So yeah, first up, we need to visualize who our audience is. I mean, Safe Haven says they want clients. Now, who are these clients that we're going to be making the site for? I mean, it's one thing to start out with the project, but then we also want to make sure that since we want to make sure that we're being very intentional with the content, I want to make sure that when people are actually when people actually come to the website, they find what they're looking for, and the website is also able to convert them to do basically what the business needs it to do. Yeah. And aside that, I know that some designers at this point might say, oh, well, I can just put in, that means I can just put in Lorem Ipsum then, because the developer still has to like go develop the design, and then they can fill in whatever content they want in there. But the thing is that another opportunity that drafting up or being very intentional about your content offers is that it also like gives the owner of the solution ideas. I mean, it gives you ideas, and it gives you owner of the solution ideas, because you can't think of anything genuine or wholesome about your about the problem that you're trying to solve when you're looking at Lorem Ipsum text. I mean, if you put a few boxes here and there, and then you put all Lorem Ipsum, this, that, and you have like a ton of screens to work through, by the time you come back and you're looking at it, you might not even remember what was supposed to be there, like, because there's literally no context. And then your client seeing it is not even going to be inspired by anything, and then they'll probably want to nag you, or I don't know. So anyways, yeah, basically you should invest in content. Okay, so first up, we need to visualize who our audience is. Who is Safe Haven trying to reach? Who is Safe Haven trying to reach? Safe Haven's target audience is middle-aged adults between the ages of 30 to 45 that either want to get the service of an interior decor company to renovate their homes, or to construct an entirely new one. Right. So what are the characters? So you also want to consider things like, what are the characteristics of the people that you're creating for? And from characteristics, it can range from anything like their age, gender, to the kind of device that you're going to be accessing the page or app from. I mean, yeah, like things like that really matter, because you're designing something really fancy, but Auntie is using BlackBerry from 2014. So I don't know. You want to be intentional. Yeah. So basically, our persona here is Amaka, and she is a middle-aged woman whose profile is basically the sum of all the information that we're able to gather during the user interviews. Next, we want to consider what the discovery and tactical goals are for Amaka. And okay, yeah, I know that discovery and tactical goals might sound pretty serious and weird, but like it's really not that serious. Let me just explain. Discovery goals are basically us just considering what people want to learn when they come to the site. I mean, what do people really want to learn when they come to Safe Haven? You can and the tactical goals are also really just considering what people want to do when they come to the site. Basically, what are their intentions when they come to the site? So, for example, in Amaka's discovery goals, it may be things like help me understand the process that goes on for the renovation of the house. I mean, I haven't done this before, and I could use some guidance. Then there's also Are there a lot of price ranges to consider? I mean, is it free? Is there a premium package of some sort? Uh, or basically, how much does all of this cost? And for her tactical goals, it could be something like, oh, I just want to find a great interior designer. I just want to confirm if these people can actually get the job done. So yeah, pretty much. But you know what? Let's switch it up a bit. So let's get more practical. Take it from the top. So right, hold on. So if we're say we're starting out fresh, I mean, Safe Haven is an interior design firm that wants to get more clients. Basically, when starting out, we want to consider stuff like who's coming to the site or app. Why do they want to use it? I mean, what value is Safe Haven offering to these people? Now, I mean, all of this might sound like, oh, jargons, like, who has time to be writing this rubbish? But the thing is that there's already a model for this. If you just like just take out time to like, well, just sorry, if you just take out time to like start out with it, you will find that it really helps your process, because actually if you lay down the groundwork, you can move off a lot faster, and well, the quality of your work changes because it's more professional in the sense, and well, you can also charge like a professional. Win-win. Okay, now the user story is a very straightforward model that helps you figure out the answers to these questions. I mean, we've all heard about the user story, right? It goes like this. Oh no. Okay, it goes like this. As a person, I want to learn or do something so that I can achieve a specific goal or task. Uh, Hold on. As a person, I want to achieve a specific goal or task. Yeah. A key thing to bear in mind when you're designing for a website is actually that. So the layout and things might be popping, and the navigation can be doing one mad motion thing that is making everybody really happy. But people will only likely decide whether or not to take action because of something that they read. And by that I mean, if you think about it here, every site that you see that is really fancy and maybe the copy wasn't really up to it and it didn't really incite you to do anything, you probably bookmarked the site like, oh yeah, this is something nice to look at, and then left. You did not consider the site goals like, oh, did they actually want you to sign up, or did they want you to try out their subscription or reach out to their team? None of that. So if you think about it now, that's just you, that's one person, but they probably get that a lot. And their conversion rates, by the time they check it, their conversion rate on their funnel and whatever is going to be tanking, because I mean it's popping, but the words are not getting people to take any action. They're not getting people to do anything. So in the end, whether or not the website is able to achieve the business goals, or whether or not it's able to um, hit all the right notes, depends largely on the words, or basically the copy. So you have to be very intentional with the copy when you're as much as you are with the design and programming. All right, so let's start off with the user story. Um, who is coming to Safe Haven's website? So here I say, as a homeowner, I want to learn or do something so that I can achieve a specific goal or task. And how do we arrive at this conclusion? Like, oh, the person that is coming is a homeowner. Well, Safe Haven does interior design for homes. So I mean, of course, their target market is basically anybody that is willing to get an interior designer to like come and do their home, maybe renovation or construction or whichever. But what? Yeah, so basically, yeah, their target market is basically anybody that wants to get an interior designer to come and do some work for them. And in this sense, seeing as we've identified that the first main thing that we can actually understand is that anybody that is coming to the site probably has a home. I mean, it's not like they live on the streets. I mean, sorry if there are people that live on the streets here, but I'm not like dragging you or anything. I'm just saying. So they probably have a home, and for whichever purpose that they are coming there, we have to like think about it and see how like we can meet their needs in in the content. Um, so yeah, Safe Haven currently either gets a lot of clients that need innovations or want to like they're building a new home and then they want somebody to come and do the interior decor. And that's who we're basing our two personas on. But like I said, we already don't have much time, so I'm not going to like go over how to like do a persona. We should. I also like to assume that we know how to do persona. So, um, right. So after establishing the single fact that whoever is coming to the site is going to like have a home that they are living in, I mean, maybe they might not own it, but at least they have a home. Then we can move on to, or our user story can basically progress into sorry, as a homeowner who is either renovating or constructing a home. Basically. Okay, so the idea of this is that our user story is going to be progressing with like the more information that we get to think about. I wanted it to be a step-by-step process so that you see that it's not actually magic and is something that is very possible that can be achieved with like just a little rational thinking. Right, so as a homeowner who is renovating, I want to learn or do something so that I can achieve a specific goal. This is the template for the user story, and we're filling it up as we go gradually. Right. So doing this will help us explore things that they have. Sorry. Seeing as we've identified that we have two personas, basically, one who is already the homeowner and then one who is building from the ground up. I mean, there are other personas, but we're just basically going to focus on these two for this exercise. So there's one persona on the other hand who is the homeowner, and then the other persona is somebody that wants to renovate their. Right, so our user story can progress to become basically, as somebody who has come to the site now, I want to learn about, maybe I don't even want to renovate, or maybe I don't even want them to do my house. I just want to see the process, what the process is like, because I haven't done this before, like Amaka's discovery goals, where I haven't done this before, and I could use a little guidance on what it involved. So, and it could also be like, maybe I want to learn about the price. Yes. And maybe I want to learn about the price. Like I'm looking for a specific price range. And I just want to see, oh, this is an interior decor site. So it probably have information or stuff like that. Then, okay, yeah. And a third one could be, or I even just want to find a great interior designer so that I can confirm that these people can actually get the job done. Either ways, we can go on and on. I mean, people are very different and they have diverse needs. So at some point we have to be very righteous. At some point we have to like decide to narrow in on our target market. But basically this is why getting real data helps, because you can just ask the people that you're trying to design for. Basically, instead of like trying to get off the top of your head, who are the kinds of people that get on here. And then, I mean, you find that a lot of these people have things in common. So that's basically what um, finding patterns are about. You want to look at, oh, okay, you want to like outline your personas, and then you're like, sorry, you want to outline your user stories in the back. You want to outline your user stories and say, okay, so what are the things that these guys have in common, or what are the preliminary things that apply to everybody that we can start with. And for this exercise, we would say that we would focus on, I basically want to, we'll focus on the third one, which is that I want to find a great interior designer so that I can confirm that these people can actually get the job done. Because if you think about it, it's kind of, it applies to, it's something that can apply to all three. It's more central to all three because they're an interior decor site. That should be their primary function. They should display their interior designs, or people should be able to get interior designs. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so um, since we're focusing on this one persona for now, I just want to find a great interior designer so I can confirm that these people can actually get the job done. Yeah, so basically, afterwards, all we're doing is just trying to humanize the process. It's just you thinking, okay, so I'm trying to design this thing now. How is it going to help Maker that is living in Lagos? Or I don't know, is this solution going to make sense to Mike? Or is it going to meet their expectations? When they come to the page, are they going to meet rice and stew when you're expecting beans or something? I don't know. So this is why we need to like have user stories to make reference to, because it's very easy to lose sight of what you are designing for when you start out designing, especially if you don't have it laid out. I mean, it's one thing to say that, oh yeah, we should lay out our user stories and we should lay out okay, yeah, so basically it's one thing to say that we should lay out our plans strategically and we should write down all the things that we're working on. But I get that it can seem really tedious as well, but it really goes a long way to help, because you probably will not well, except your speed star. Okay, you probably will not be able to finish up the solution in one day. And even if you do, you end up making like several iterations, so much so that your initial idea would not be what is left there. And well, in that sense, if there was no original embodiment of what you were doing all of this for, or who you were designing all of this for, then everything will just be all over the place. And then there's no cohesiveness. So when somebody comes on the page, they're probably going to like not do the things that you were expecting them to do, which is maybe reach out or download the app or whatever. So yeah, please just try to like take that extra step to like actually pen down these things. And you can even try to, I'm a big fan of like automating things. So you can try to like be filling in your templates or something. But have a template for everything basically, it works. Okay, so let's go on to the that really sums it up for the user story, at least at this point. So you can see it's really not that stressful. Let's build it into an actual website. We're starting with the homepage. The homepage. Now, looking at our user story, sorry, I'm gonna go back. Looking at our user story, Amaka says, I basically just want to find a great interior designer so I can confirm that these people can actually get the job done. The primary goal that we're thinking about right now is to show her. Okay, so logically, if you, okay, yeah, this is it. This was the slide I was looking for. So yeah, this is it. As a homeowner who is renovating, I want to see some great design work so that I can pick an interior designer from safe haven with some level of confidence. Now, if somebody wants, if the primary goal is for somebody to see some great design work, I mean that sums it up, right? You can just slap the design work there and be like, okay, yeah, you can decide, I can see it, bye. Um, but no, it doesn't work that way because, like I said, they'll come to the page. If they see the great design work without any words of action or um, any 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 anything calling them to action, basically, they will just probably maybe save your pictures and use it for inspiration and go and give it to another interior design firm somewhere else that will get the job done. So the key is to be intentional with copy and content. Like I said, sure, we want to show them great design work. The first thing we will do is to um, make it very apparent. Like, um, sorry, hold on. Yeah. So once you show them some great design work, we'll throw in the picture of the interior that is really great in the hero section. But we need more stuff. Basically, it's not enough. Um, it's not enough. Sorry, hold on. If we think about the primary goal of the business also, because I mean everything is not about the user as well. We also have our stakeholders breathing down our neck, and we want to balance out everybody's expectations. So the primary goal of safe haven is for them to get clients. They want to get clients basically, and we could translate this to something more direct, which is sorry, hold on. Yeah, we could translate this to something more direct, which is how to actually connect the person that is landing on the page to from whatever they see on the screen to reaching out to Safe Haven so that they can reach their goal, which is to get more clients. And um, this can be translated into a contact us navigation item containing phone number, email, and address. Containing in the sense that when they click on it, I mean, yeah, I figured out what you're about. But anyways, yeah, this is how it works basically. So we start with the goal. This person wants to see some great design work, but this person, the business, wants um wants people to reach out to them when they come to the page. So one of the supporting elements that would enable that can be a contact us navigation item, which is there. Then what else? Right. Let's also not forget the other stories. I mean, I don't want to have to go back. But basically, there were people saying stuff like, okay, so maybe we just want to see the process of how an interior decor um, thing is going to take place. Or maybe we just want to see how much it actually costs. Or in fact, we just came to your site for inspiration and all that. We also like want to consider those other user stories and channel those wants and thoughts into the layout of the page, or basically the information architecture of the page. So that's where the other navigation items come from to get the our rates, about us, to like basically give them a chance to get this need satisfied. I mean, for lack of time, of course, this I don't know if you guys can actually see the navigation items. They're supposed to be more pronounced, but I mean, my bad. Okay, so um, let's make reference to other user stories. Okay, yeah, we already did that. Then, so yeah, now we have our navigation basically, and we have our background picture. And you see how all we're justifying all of this based on actual user needs, that is based on um that is based on the wants of people that interact with Safe Haven, not a fancy dribble thing that we saw and we just put there. Because I mean, it's not. Anyways, I know it's go over that. The point is that the navigation item was born from the actual user story, and so if the client says, "Oh, why is all this there?" then like you have a very reasonable explanation. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, so next up, we're going to be considering the header. I mean, sure, there's a background image and there's a navigation bar, but like, yeah. So I'm a user. I just don't be able. What am I supposed to do? But let's move on to the header. Now, when we're considering copy for the header, we want to be as specific as we can, because well, being just a little more specific goes a long way. You don't want to come and write one like, oh, we we serve experiences on a platter of gold or something, and then the person's like, what are you even talking about? So yeah, anyways, you want to be as specific as possible when you're writing copy for the header, especially when you're considering that whatever action the user is going to take is going to be based on the words that they read, and not the layout or whichever. Like the words are what drives the user to action. So you want to make sure that there's no mistaking it at all. When they read it, they know, oh, this is what this page does. Because I'm sure that we've all seen a lot of pages that we went on, and then after reading from the hero section to wherever, we were still like, what are these guys on about? I don't even. Okay, so yeah, be very specific with header. So now we can say something like, for oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So now we can say something like, we make homes look beautiful. I mean, okay, that's already like instilling some sort of confidence in the user. Then we can go on to um, the body text. Yeah, we can go on to the body text to like um, further support the header and like give the user a lot more context about what's going on this page. If somebody is looking for an interior designer to revamp their home, chances are that they're looking for someone who has like experience. I mean, it's my home. I want to feel as comfortable as I can there, and I don't want somebody that is going to like come and fuck it up, because like, yeah, trying out, you're just a newbie and like, yeah, getting your feet wet or whatever. So like, instilling confidence is going to be a key thing to consider in a situation like this. And yeah, so with that in mind, we can say stuff like, oh yeah, so let's say that Safe Haven has actually been at this for 3 decades, 30 years. That's, yeah, basically they've been at this for 30 years. You know, something like that now is something that we can leverage, that, oh, actually, or more, we've been at this for a really long time, so you should be able to trust us. And this is going to be addressing the visitors cold feet about inexperience, because yeah, like I said, they don't want somebody that is just getting their feet wet to come and design their own. So yeah, you can even like play with the language a little until like you arrive at what you want. But basically, if you look at this body text right here, saying for over 30 years, Safe Haven has worked with over 120 homeowners on projects in Lagos and in Nigeria as a whole. Now, let's take it apart here. In this, we've basically successfully said, we've been successfully able to say in very, very clear terms what they do. Oh, this is what Safe Haven does, and this is how long they've been doing it. This is what they are. This is who they are, and then this is how much experience they have. Then also we also throw in who they work with and where they work with them. So yeah, the client is, look at, it's just 3 lines, but because of the intentionality we put into it, the client is getting, or rather the person that comes to the page is getting as much information, and probably that initial fear they had about whether or not this firm is going to be experienced enough to actually get the job done has been cleared from this simple words, you know. Okay, so basically, when you, the more you like try to understand the goals of somebody that comes to the site, and then the obstacles that they're going to be facing in achieving that goal, then the better it is that you can come up with ways to get what they want. And by ways to get what we want, I'm not just referring to the copy. Like we said, we'll see how content strategy influences everything. I mean, it was because of content strategy that we chose the background picture and the navigation link and the and the header and the body text. So literally content. Then up next, we're going to do the call to action, because I mean, their words, but what do you want me to do on here? Right. Now, when trying to do the call to action, we have to, again, like I'll keep saying this, we always have to refer back to the goal, the initial goals, which is why it's very important to have it somewhere, like whether it is the user story or the initial client's goals. Basically, we always have to have it somewhere tangible so that we can make reference to it. Now we're going to go back to it again, so that we use it to decide what happens with the CTA. I mean, seen as the initial goals for Safe Haven was to get more clients, and we already established that for the a simple way to do this would be to like link them to contacts, like yeah, if we want to get the clients to us, then they need to have a way to contact us. So yeah, that's where the contact came up from. Then we can also reinforce this in the CTA with the button that says, with a button that maybe says, I don't know, maybe get in touch, schedule a consultation, reach out to our team. I don't, whichever you deem fit, but the primary goal just has to be in mind, which is that, oh wow, sorry. Yeah, the primary goal just has to be in mind that we're trying to get this person to do something that the business wants them to do. And at the same time, we're trying to make sure that this person has their needs met when they come to the site. Okay, so yeah, we've literally gotten the hero section done now, all from the user stories. Who would have thought? Right now after doing all of this, before we even move on to any section or again, we have to like stop, think. I mean, really think about it. Think about it. After creating the initial structure based on the user story, like, would this like really be enough to convert them? I mean, if I came to the site and I saw, oh, we make homes look beautiful for over 30 years, Safe Haven has done this and this, is it everybody that is going to click on this, get in touch? Of course not. I mean, some people are a lot more conservative and they want to scroll to the rest of the page and see what you're on about. So then we this is where our skills as designers come in. I mean, we can do some mind reading, or sorry, I mean empathy. We can use empathy to sorry. We can use empathy to basically figure out what else is going to get this person to, I don't know, give us their money, to reach out to the team and all that. Now, in this sense, we can think of stuff like, oh, okay, so these are the other people like you that we've worked with, and then see, they thought that we did a good job enough to even testify about it. I think we should all know what I'm referring to, right? The power of social proof. So yeah, social proof basically we can use that to further like reinforce our our objective. Sorry, hold on. Ugh, ugh. Yeah, offer them something else, blah blah blah. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, basically we can offer them social proof, use testimonials and all that. And then you can even go further, like by referring to the user stories again. I mean, if you think about it, their primary goal was to come the primary goal of the persona or the user story rather was to see a good design or body of work, like to see an interior design that was good enough to get them to believe that, oh, these guys can actually get the job done. So in that sense, I mean, you actually want to put it all up in their face, like, oh, okay, so aside the testimonials, now these are some of the works that we've actually recently done that really slap and stuff. Um, so yeah, anyways, I was going to take it I was going to take it all the way, like design the entire portfolio side, but I don't know. I don't think we have a lot of time right now, so I think that should be pretty much it. I I am done. We can like I don't know if anybody has questions.
Well, thank you so much for this session, Lola. It's been super educative, and for me personally, like came at the right time. So thank you for that. Yeah, everybody clap for Lola in the comment section. So if you have any questions, like we would only be taking like three. Yeah, so if you have any questions for Lola, please ask them in the comment section now, and she would answer.
You guys are killing me.
Any questions? Killer behave. We're being serious here. No, they lose concentration, please. Lola, someone asked if you're taking mentee. Like, I actually want to know the answer to that question too, because
Omo, Omo, abeg, I'm in mentee too, please. I don't know really. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
okay.
see.
Wait, like I'm first on the line, Sha. So.
What happens when a client doesn't provide content for the project? Well, doesn't provide content in what sense exactly? Like you ask them, they don't know. See, it's really hard to like make meaningful solutions for people that um how would I work? Personally, yeah, I would not work with such a client because you're just giving me extra work. Because chances are that if you don't know what you want in terms of content already, like if you don't know because sorry, let's consider it this way, yeah. You don't know what you want in terms of content. This already translates to you not even knowing a lot about the solution that this translates to you not even knowing a lot about the solution that you are trying to like work. So we're just going to be this is usually the red flag for clients that are going to be giving you trouble. Like you have to do a lot of back and forth and all that. So personally, I would not work with such a client. But if you still want to like, if you have coconut head and you want to work with the client, then by all means, you will have to do your own you have to do like your own user strategy. So you have to do your own um process yourself. Like we said, we have to start out with the user interviews. Seeing as okay, we've already scrapped the stakeholder interviews now. We'll have to fill in the information that we're supposed to get from the stakeholder with a lot of desk research, and then we'll now go to the prospective users of this solution and then try to ask them all the questions that are supposed to inform our persona and customer journey map. Oh, that's true. I didn't touch on the customer journey map. It actually helps, but I mean, it's not relevant in. I don't want to say it's not relevant for you experience. Yeah, you don't always have to do the customer journey map, but it really helps. So, anyways, yeah, the point is that in such a situation, you would have to go out of your way to go and get this information from users yourself and do a lot of desk research, supplement it, and yeah, work with what you have. Yeah, any other questions? Is the job of designer to
Um,
really create content? Well, like with all things, you can. I won't say that um so I won't say that, oh, you have to create the content. I mean, there are people that specialize in content strategy. That's what they do, yeah. So you could also get the services of content strategists. But I mean, if you are like actually serious about your craft, you should want to like create the best possible solution that there could be. And in this sense, in this sense, sorry, what I even forgot to add is that, see, when you're wearing all these hats and you're doing all these content strategy things for these guys, you should charge for it. Please, by all means, add it to your um add it to your fees. Content strategy is the deliverable you get from content strategy is like or basically, yeah, it's a deliverable on its own, basically. So you should definitely charge like extra for it. And if you now do the content and the client is saying that they're not going to pay for it, please put some Lorem Ipsum there. I endorse the message. Um, okay, I don't know if I answered. I feel like I was answering a question and then I got off point. Which one was it? It's the job of designer to actually create content. Yeah. So basically, like I said, is I think you should create the content because is the only like certified way to make sure that um you're actually solving a problem basically, because you don't want to string together words and pictures that are not actually doing what they are intended to. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of us have projects that are not currently live because I don't know, maybe some of them might even have gone live, but they went under, and that's because like they weren't really well thought out, like they weren't built up to standard. The way Nigerian clients want everything to be well fast, or I don't know. And probably designer too was just like, oh more, I beg, let me just go to Dribble and put one thing. And any content that is there, they will see it and they will take it and blah blah blah. So it's left to you basically, it's your conscience. What else? How can a designer get better at UX writing? Hmm. Hmm. How can a designer get better at UX writing? Well, I can't give a general, oh, how can a designer get better at UX writing advice. I can only say what works for me, which is reading a shit ton. And I don't know really. Like I already so I didn't start out writing when I was in like designer. Do you guess? Like I've always like written stuff because I've always like enjoyed reading stuff and learning stuff. So basically, the point is when you read a lot, you can start to see patterns for things that work. Oh wait, sorry, what being specific? UX writing, no vex. UX writing. I'll assume that we're talking about the things that the copy that goes on the user interface, right? Okay, so okay, no vex. If we're talking about the copy that goes on the user interface, I mean there are a lot of courses and things that can actually help. I mean, funny enough, UX writing is a subsidiary of content strategy. I mean, it's basically just you focusing on one part, which is the copy, like we're talking about. But we know that content is everything else. So there are a lot of courses that you could take. I don't know. I could recommend some. I guess I have a little resource base or something. But I think Asha also has a few great resources for people that want to get started on content strategy. So, sorry, on UX writing. Oh, jeez. For people that want to get started on UX writing, so you can look into that. But I don't have any special advice I can give for that. Um, how do you create content for a product if you weren't involved in the design stage and you were only hired after all this is done? Oh yes. So the thing about content strategy is that, like I said, there are various approaches to take for it. I didn't want to I didn't want to give everyone like a series of steps, like, oh yeah, so this is what you should do and what you should do, because products are different, right? You want to the primary goal of everything is to do what works for the business. So in this sense, um, if you weren't involved in the design stage, the steps to take would be, well, there's what we call content audits actually. So I took us through the flow of what you would do if you were starting out a project fresh. But if you were not starting out the project fresh, the first thing that you were supposed to do is to do a content audit of the entire site and get more information on everything really that is currently there. What kind of tone of voice do they use for their products? Is it cohesive or is it all over the place? What kind of what's your current um what's the word for it? What's your current preferred media? Are you guys using illustrations? Are you using pictures? Um, what else? What else? What else? I don't know. Everything else. What's their design system like? What's their information architecture like? You do a content audit and then you basically try to um, move on from there with like unifying it to like what you want, or basically what is supposed to work for the business in this context, as you being a content strategist. I mean, is you can liken it to um maybe when you're UI designer and you newly come in and then you have to like establish a design system for these guys. You do the same, you do like similar things. You want to like do an audit of these units that are on the system, and then you want to see how you can unify it to get a more cohesive feel, to make sure that okay, um everything is working towards a single goal or towards whatever business goals that they have, and like is actually complementing all of that. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. Did I is my system frozen or something?
No, we can hear you. Okay. Sorry, by the way, guys, please fill the feedback form like for this session and let us know like how it went, what you'd like us to improve on, so like we can just continue working on like bringing out better sessions for you. That will be posted right now. Also, like Caleb dropped the link to the Asha resources. So for the person that was asking about like articles and resources on UX writing, you would find some there, and like pretty much on any other topic that you'd want. And if there's anything like that isn't currently present in the Asha resources, like in any field that you're interested in, you can send a mail to Àṣà Coterie. Please drop the like email address and just suggest like pages and topics that you would like to see resources on there. Yeah, also follow Àṣà Coterie on Twitter and Instagram, so that you can be updated on like more sessions and just more design related talks. Also the YouTube link will be posted right now so that you can get the recording of this session and all our previous sessions. So like you can always go back and watch. Yeah. Again, don't forget to fill the feedback form. Thank you guys for like attending this session. Thank you so much, Lola, for this session. God, I need to rewatch this because like you said a lot that I need to really digest. So God bless you. Thank you so much for this.